Today, what we're going to do is I'm going to be showing you the exact process that I went through to remix a song. Yo, it's Thomas Anthony from FOXX Music, and today what we're going to do is I'm going to be showing you the exact process that I went through to remix a song. It was a bootleg that I just released last week, a bootleg of Sean Paul's Get Busy. I had the vocals. I want to show you exactly how I arranged the track, how I worked on the drums, how I worked on the bass, leads, and vocals to end it all off. This is a super simple process. I finished this track in about 2 days, and yeah, I really want to break it down and show you exactly what I did in the project. Now, if you want help getting your music to next level, and you want it to be festival ready and record label ready, so you can play out something that you're proud of, there's a link in the description to my mentoring program. Fill out the application. I'll get back to you. We'll set up a one-on-one free mentoring consultation session, and in that session we'll figure out where you're at, where you want to go, and exactly how to get you there. And from there we can choose to work together or not. So hit me up in the description if there's something you're interested in, but let's get into the track.
All right, let's look at this track. So how to remix a song. So basically when I remix a song, I want to go and I want to just make it completely different than the original. And what I did in here was I'll just start out by playing the main bits of the song. So I'll just kind of go through the arrangement here quickly, and then I'll break everything down and kind of what I did in each different section. So basically it just starts off with with just a nice little bass, like breakdown bass. Goes to build up, and a pre-drop. And this is my moombahouse drop. Bring in some hi-hats. And then a little bit of vocals over top. And then it breaks down to more of a trappy bit, with a longer breakdown. And then back up to the build up. And then the last So this is basically it, and I wanted to do something that was completely different than the original and making something in my own style. I really like these vocals. This is something that I've been searching for, and what's kind of difficult about making this new genre is the vocals and the vocal chops, and that's something I really like to incorporate into this new style that I'm making. So basically what I had here was I just started with the vocals of the whole song, and I just kind of chopped them up. I found the most interesting bits. So I really liked this shake that thing, miss. I really like that. And sexy ladies want part with us, you know, the car with us, them no war with us. And I just kind of warped it, made sure that it all fit in time. And then I also found out some, that was kind of like where I started with the arrangement. So I wanted to I started with the drop, and I made the little bit like bass bits, which I'll get into in a second. But basically I started with the drop, and then I found something that would be really groovy over top of the drop. So I really like the main verse part of Get Busy. And then this was just an obvious choice for the build up. And then this is where I had lots of trouble, was just trying to figure out a solid breakdown for this kind of tune. So instead of just going, because I listened to a bunch of other different bootlegs, and instead of just going throughout the whole song of just putting this verse kind of here and just playing the initial bit, I decided to just do something completely different, chop this up, and put it over top of kind of like just a nice like bassy breakdown, kind of trappy style. Get busy. So just like Get Busy on there. Get jiggy. And then I just really chopped this up, and this is something I spent quite a bit of time on, was just figuring out the best kind of chops to kind of put in here, and this is kind of what I came up with. I just chopped up different parts of the song and just really repeated this. And again, the second bit is over here. Come on. Because right after the drop here, it's a weird, the flow of the song is kind of weird, and it went, get it on, let's get it on till I earn them on, girl, it's all good, just turn me on, yo, sexy ladies want part with us. And the arrangement of the song was kind of weird, so I really had to just kind of make this my own and try some different ideas. Get it on, so I tried that.
It's all good, just turn me on. Get it on till I heard them on.
And just repeated
It's
that.
all good, just turn me on.
Just to kind of get some good movement in there, especially during the trappy kind of part. So that's basically what I thought about for the arrangement of things, and I'll explain these vocal chops in a second. But this is kind of where I started, and this is what I encourage all the students in my mentoring program, is to spend time figuring out the best arrangement. It's easy to just have like build up or breakdown, build up, drop, breakdown, build up, drop, which is fine, but it's making those parts super interesting is where people seem to be having lots of trouble. So I spend quite a bit of time trying to get an interesting arrangement that's always just flowing through and really just keeping people engaged throughout the whole song. So now let's break down each different part. So once I kind of had that arrangement, the rest is pretty easy. So I just have my drums in here. I have this as like a kind of a drum bus, and then I separate all the tops into another different area, which I process with my processing chains. But basically I just have a kick. That's just a basic kick that I really like from this Vengeance pack. Just super solid, just a little bit of Oxford on there. And then I also separated the trap kick because I just used a different trap kick for that because it was a different sound. And then I had an extra kick up here just to kind of test things out, but I ended up going with this one. And then in the top section, so basically this is where I have everything kind of sounding super dope. And in here, I just have like a little Moomba-y beat over here. And then I got some... again, I just chopped up this vocal sample to kind of give it more of a Moomba housey vibe, which I find really does well on the dance floor. There, I got a certain amount of fills in here just to kind of spice things up, and then I just use loop slots to give it some movement here, and I sidechain some of those. And again, like these one's going left and one's going right, and another one here. This is like a clap, and then again, just chopping up some cashmere loops. And yeah, that's basically it. And I add another loop one on top of here because it's a more housey vibe. And that's basically it for the drop drums. And I love using just build-ups, especially loops for bootlegs, because I just want to do it really quickly. This song took me about 2 or 3 days to finish. So here I used some of the cashmere like cinematic drums. I had some long drum fills, and then I just chopped up some claps here to make the build-up even better. And then I automated some of those. And then again, I just add kind of fills, more fills kind of towards the second drop. And then here, this is just something giving it momentum just throughout the song, just to kind of give it a little bit of movement as you're going through it. And that's basically all I have to do with the drums. I keep it very simple, and just you don't need to go super complex. I love using loops, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's fucking like that's what they're there for. It's hard enough to make a creative song by making everything from scratch. You don't need to that Diplo saying you don't have to need to like raise some goats to make your own drums or some shit like that. And let's move on to the bass section. So this is in the final mix part. So I made all these sounds in a combination of Serum and Silent and Massive, and I always freeze them because I want to get rid of any clicks and pops and transients and all that kind of stuff. And basically what that sounds like is... And I really take the time to just figure out a nice groovy bass pattern. So typically I'll start with just one synth and I'll get a nice groovy pattern, and then I'll just start plugging in different sounds and seeing what things sound good. So this one specifically with this bass was like... So that really went. I had to really make this work with the Moombi one, Moombi drop, whereas this one... This one's more 4/4, so it just kind of worked out a little bit. I could add in more bits and give it more energy. That's why I like doing that for like the second drop. And yeah, that's basically it for the basses. And then I just have some sub drops over here, some like sub fills, just some cool little sounds in here to give it some pop and flavor. Again, over here, there's some sub bits. And then in the breakdown, so this is another part where I really just kind of figured a MIDI channel or a MIDI pattern, and basically I wanted to keep it super simple. So it's like I have the main bass. Oops. I don't know why that's not playing. That's weird.
thing, miss. Can I shake that thing, miss?
Why you no play? Oh, this is going to sidechain. Make this go to the final mix bus. See if that does anything.
Shake that.
There we go. So this is just so like nice little sub bass, and then I have something over top here for rhythm, and then over here is more of like a wavy synth. And this is just kind of filling out the sides, and I've done a bunch of processing on this, so it just cuts out all the lows, and I have all these like EQ'd so they sound really dope. And then there we go. And then it just gives a nice full sound that's kind of eerie, so I really love that. Then in the breakdown parts, this is where I just love, I like adding little animal bits. Cashmere's got a shout out to the boy. Just putting weird little animal sounds, reverses, just cool little things. Any little bits and boops that I can kind of add to makes it sound really just unique. And I love reversing sounds lots and just using things backwards. I think that's super sweet. So yeah, those are the kind of breakdown sounds that I have. And then I have also down here, so just adding like nice like horns. This one's like some weird thing. This one's just the jungle. This one's like a night ambience. That's like a lion or something like that. So I just add different textures to kind of fill out the breakdown part. And then horns, just using just simple horns and reverse. Really big fan of the horn sections, and they just add just so much like body to everything. And then again, not that many effects, to be honest. Like I have some reverses in here just going up into kind of different areas, some tonal risers, and some crashes. Like I really tried to keep it simple in this track. Normally I'll have a ton of effects in songs, but in this one I just didn't really have it. And yeah, the final thing is basically this vocal chops. So I just really found a nice pattern that I liked.
Take on, yo. Can I take on up? Take on, yo.
And this one just goes up an octave. So yeah, I really just wanted to give this its own flavor, and I've been messing around with this style, and I have a few tracks coming out that are originals that are in this style, and I just wanted to break down this project. And yeah, it's for free download right now. I've been playing it out all summer in my sets. It's been going off. People have been loving the vibe, and yeah, the second drop, just people aren't expecting that, and when it comes back in, and it's also, this is not the right key of this, it's actually at 115. I don't know why that's at 120, but yeah, it's a little bit slower, but it just goes off. Like after a nice long build up, this one just goes into this, and then it just drops and pops off. So this is basically how I would go about remixing a song, and this is definitely like a bootleg, so it's for free download again. Like I said, I'm not putting this on Spotify. This was just something I was just really inspired to do, and I had these vocals just laying around, and I just decided, I'm like, hell yeah, let's just go for it and make this song. Like, why not? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you dig it, download it, follow me on my socials. I have a bunch of moombahouse stuff coming out, some solid originals, and a bunch of awesome remixes and collabs with people that are coming out on some awesome dope labels, which I'm super psyched about. And yeah, hope you got something from this. Now, if you're having trouble finishing songs and you want to make badass music and get it signed to awesome labels, I have something really sweet for you. In the description down below is a link to my mentoring program. Fill out the application, I'll check it out, see where you're at, and we can schedule a free consultation call where we'll just look at where you're at and the goals that you kind of want to achieve and figure out a plan to how to get there. I've been helping tons of students and just helping them get their music badass, get their career on point, and just finishing awesome music. That's the main goal of things. And yeah, if you need help with that, book a free consultation session. We'll chat and see how I can help you get to that next level. Okay, till next time, baby. Peace.